So today we are walking through the Excel Module 1 notes. And as I'm walking through these notes, I'm going to swap back and forth between Project A and show you how to do some of these steps in the project. So in Module 1, basically, one of the first things that you're learning how to do is how to cut and paste. In your book, it shows you how to do the cut and paste feature a couple of different ways. One way that it shows you how to do that is by highlighting the cells that you want to cut and paste, and you can also use that with a copy feature as well. You'll highlight those items. You can right click with your mouse, and when I say right click, I'm meaning when you have both fingers on your mouse, you want to right click the two mouse buttons. You'll use the one on the right hand side. So you would use your middle finger, which is on the right hand side of the mouse. So that's what I mean when I say right click with your mouse, or when the book refers to it, right clicking with your mouse. So to cut or to copy, you would highlight the cells you want to cut or copy. You would right click with your mouse and then go to the cell where you want to paste that information, and then click there, right click again, and paste it or copy it. Paste and copy is the same thing here. Another way that you can do that is by going to the Home tab, and those options are there for you from the Home tab. Sometimes your book or the instructions that you get in the projects will tell you specifically to go to the Home tab or use the cut or copy option to do that. If it doesn't specify which way you have to do it, then you can do whichever way is easier for you. Throughout this book, you'll see that some steps, it specifically tells you a certain way to do things. If it doesn't specifically tell you a certain way, then you have the option to do it either way, because you're going to learn how to do things multiple ways in this class. Just pay close attention to the instructions, okay? I'm going to switch over to the spreadsheet real quick, and we'll do that real quick. 1 second. I'm going to be switching back and forth, so. All right. So to copy or cut and paste, I think is what we're doing here. You'll highlight the cells that you want to cut or copy. And again, I'm highlighting them. I can right click with my mouse. I can select cut or copy, or I can go up here from the Home tab in the clipboard group. I can select cut or copy, and then you can select paste over here. But on this step, I'm going to select cut. When you select cut, it's going to do kind of a flashing line around it. I'm going to go over to the cell. You don't have to highlight multiple cells. If it tells you to go to another cell into a range A1 to A2, you don't have to select both items. You can just select A1, right click, and click paste. And so it's going to move both of those cells over there. So I didn't have to select A1 to A2 because those cells were already filling that entire range. So I just have to select the first cell, and it's going to automatically insert into both of those, into that entire range. And the next item that we're looking at is adjusting column width. Again, there's a couple of different ways that you can do this, and I'm just going to stay in the spreadsheet right now because it's right here beside it. I can do this with just my mouse. I can go to the item, to the column, and again, your columns are across the top. Your columns will be in letters. Your rows will be in numerals, in numbers, going down the left-hand side. So your columns will be across the top, and your rows will be numbers going down the left-hand side, okay? So if it tells you to adjust the column width, you're looking for columns across the top. So you would want to select the column that you want to adjust. You can go up here and highlight the letter. So if you select that letter, it's going to highlight the entire column, and you'll see the green line that'll go all the way around that column all the way down. So that selected it for me just by selecting that column. Now I could do the same thing by selecting a row. If I go over here and select the number of that row, it's going to select the entire row all the way across. But I'm looking for a column. I can also do this by going over here to, when I go to the Home tab, again, in the Cells group, I'm going to go to Format. So here's the Cells group right here. I'm going to click on Format. And from here, I can adjust column width from there. But also, you have to select that column first before you select the column width. Now, one easy way to know which is better to do that, because I always have people asking me, well, which way is the better way to do this? Well, it really depends on what you're wanting to do. If you're wanting to like auto fit the column width, you can do that here pretty easily. If you're wanting to do a specific number, sometimes in the instructions, it's going to ask you to change the column width like to 15 or to 26.5 or something like that. If you're changing it to a specific number, always come from the Home tab to the Cells group to Format, go to column width or row height or something like that, because that way you can adjust it specifically to that specific number. So this is always going to be your best bet. If you want to auto fit your row height or your column width, you can do that from there as well. If you want to do it kind of the quick way, if you're kind of getting the hang of this and kind of down the road several modules, you can go right here and do it and just double click and it's going to auto fit. This just means that it fits it to the best fit where you can visually see everything that's in that column. But again, if you're wanting a specific number, you'll definitely want to go through this format. And again, if the directions tell you a specific way to do this, then definitely do whatever the directions told you to do. Go through that way. I'll just try to put in my notes 2 different ways to do it, the 2 easiest ways to do things. There's a quick version with your mouse, and then there's the way to get there through all the steps that you can do it, because the directions will tell you multiple ways sometimes. And again, that's what this class is about, is learning how to do this correctly in all the different ways. So you'll be entering text and formatting cells in Excel. So if you need to enter text in Excel, you just simply go to that area where you need to enter the text and you start typing. That's all you have to do to enter text. And I think where we're doing this is in D5. We're going to be entering text here. You'll just click in that cell, double click, and you'll see my flashing cursor inside that. So all I did was I go to D5, column D, row 5, double click in there to get the flashing cursor, and I can just start typing. So I'm going to start typing. The name that it tells me to type here. And then I'm going to hit enter. Okay. Something called, if you need to delete the text, you just can click on the cell that you want to delete and click delete. If you mess up and you didn't mean to delete all of it, you can click this undo button up here at the very top and click undo. This is the redo or clear that. You'll get used to these undo and redo buttons up here. If you only needed to delete one section, maybe I made a mistake and I miskeyed part of the name in here, I can move my cursor to just part of this name. Maybe I put an A in there and I misspelled that name. I see a lot of spelling errors in here, and it does come off for spelling on a lot of this. So you've got to pay close attention. And that's one of the biggest things that I see students missing, and they can't figure out what they did wrong is, you know, transposing when you're typing, getting the letters transposed or things like that. So pay close attention, make sure you're checking your spelling and things like that. If it counts off and you can't figure out, check the spelling first. That's one of the biggest tips I can give you. But just click inside the box and then move your cursor to where you want to change if you see a spelling error or something like that. If you need to make text fit inside of a cell, one way you can do that, so say I have a whole lot more information in here than what needed to be there. So maybe I had, I'm just typing some information so it goes way away. So, okay, so that went outside of my range. Okay, that's not really an email address, and this is not in the assignment. I'm just showing you an example. So if I want it to fit, what I want to do is hit wrap text. So, and that is from the home tab in the alignment group. You'll see this function called wrap text. So you can do that and see how it widens out your row once you do that. That is called wrap text, and it makes everything fit into that single column and row. Okay. So again, if I need to fix that back, I'm just gonna change that. Okay. So that's how you wrap text. Get back over and look at my notes and see what else. If I want to change the font, font is right here beside it from the home tab in the font group. I can change the font of this. So the font is just like, right now it's in Calibri 12 is what font we're using if you need to change the font of something. This up here is Rockwell 20. So that's how you change the font, is in the font group. And you can also do bold, italics, underline. It's where you can do a fill color. So that's this color back behind it. That's a fill color of something. This is the font color. It's the actual font color. Like this is a font color here. That changes the color of the actual text. So this is the font area. So you can change up that information there. Let's see what else is in my notes here. Formatting. To change the formatting, you will go from the home tab in the numbers group here, and you will change that by going from like, this is like formatting items. So this right now is like under currency. If I wanted to change that to number or the accounting, if you want dates, times, percentages, that's where you're going to do that, is in the number group. There's a few quick ones that are always there. You've got your accounting number format is there, the percentage sign. You've got your comma, that you can add commas to numbers. If you want to move your increased decimal a couple of places, that's going to increase your decimal. You can decrease your decimal. So these are some quick options that are there. To get more options in any of these items, you click this little arrow in the bottom right-hand corner, and it's going to give you the full menu for formatting cells. So here you have all of these options. You also, when you open this up, you're going to have the number, the alignment will also pop up for you. You also have the font information, which is the same as here. You get more border information, fill, and protection. So you have all of these options that you had up here, but you've got them all at your fingertips. So if you're making a lot of changes to one particular cell, so you need to adjust the different things to the number format. You also need to change the alignment. You also need to change the font. Just go to one of these items, like I would suggest going to the number one. Just pull it up. It's going to give you the format cell one and just change it all in one place. So if you're doing several things in one place to one cell, just do it all right there. Okay. Let's see what else I need to show you. So you're getting a lot of information in this module one, and some of it may be a review for you if you've had an Excel class before. Okay, so flash fill. Some of you may not have had flash fill before. So we've entered this email address here. Okay, so we enter this email address. There's a couple of different options on how you can do flash fill. How you should be able to do flash fill is just enter that email address. You'll enter that, and then you'll select the range, the D5 through D16, if I can get it to D5 through D16. And then you'll use your flash fill button. So how we're doing this is you're going to go from the Home tab to your editing group. You're going to select Fill and then select Flash Fill. Now you should have all of these email addresses pop up for you in Flash Fill. Okay. Another way that it should work is you could go to your data tab, and remember, you're going to select all of them. You're going to select D5 through D16. You can also go to the data tab, and from here, you're going to go to your data tools here, and then you're going to select your flash fill from this one. See if I can remember. Here it is right here. Sometimes if you just hover over them, it'll show you what that means. So if I select flash fill from data tools, it's going to automatically pre-fill them. Okay. So that is how you do flash fill. Okay. There are some simple functions that we're going to be using in Excel. Let's see here. I think we're going over here to do some of the functions. Okay, 17. Okay. This is one that some people struggle with at the first. It says create a formula using the sum function to determine the total salary paid in the range from B15 to B16, and then copy the formula you created in cell B17 to cell C17. So it should be pretty easy to do. So for the sum function, we're going to type the equal sign to do sum. You can start typing sum. Once you start typing the word, you should get some functions should pop up for you. And then you can double click it from the list. That's going to give you the sum function, and then it'll start it with an open parentheses. And then you can type what area you're wanting that to cover. So I'm wanting that to be B5 to B16. I can also go up here and select that range as well. So B5 to B16, and then I would just do the close parentheses after it and then click enter. And it's going to give me the sum of that area. And if I need to copy it from B5 or B17 to C17, remember I can do copy and paste. So you can do copy paste from here, or you can again go to the Home tab and do copy and then paste. And just to get that to quit, get out of the copy mode, you just go to any cell over here and just double click to select another cell, or click the escape button, and it'll get you out of that line to out of the copy mode. Another one that you may be using is the count function. Again, just do the equal sign if you're doing a count function. You would just do the equal sign and start typing count and double click that, and then select the range where you're wanting it to count. That's how you do the count function. Same thing. I guess those are the only functions we're using right now. If it ever asks you to enter a formula without using a function, the way that you do that is you just click the equal sign, and then you enter the items that you're wanting to add or subtract. So for example, if you want to enter a formula without using the function for B5 and B6, so you might want to do equals B5 minus B6. Okay, and that'll give you the amount there. So if it ever tells you to create a formula without using a function, that means you're not using sum or count or anything else. You're just using the equal sign. So that's what that means. If you want to use AutoSum for something, you select the cell or cells that you want to use AutoSum for. You'll select those, and then you'll just click from the Home tab in the editing group, you'll just select AutoSum, and it'll click that there. So you want to make sure that you go all the way down here and click AutoSum, so it would AutoSum it down here at the bottom. Okay, so oops. Let's see what else we're looking at today. Copy and paste again is the same thing as cut and paste. We talked about that already. And page layout, to adjust the page layout of your page, you'll go up here to the top. Up here, you'll select page layout. In the bottom right-hand corner of the page is your zoom feature. Okay, so you're going to click the plus sign to make your page larger. You can zoom it to whatever percentage it tells you to zoom it to. You'll click the minus sign to make it a little bit smaller. To change the orientation of the page, again, it's page layout. You go to page setup and then select orientation. You'll select portrait or landscape. And then to save your file, and again, in this class, if it ever tells you to print, it's only going to want you to do the print preview. I'm never going to require you to print anything for this class. So anytime if it ever asks you to do something with print, you're only going through the motions to set it up for printing. So you get everything in the orientation correctly. So it's ready to print. You're never going to be required to print it. Okay, just FYI. Okay, so to save your file, you're going to go to File, Save As, and then you're going to go and save it in whatever location you want to. So I go to this PC, and then you're going to go save it wherever you want to. Like I have my stuff saved on on a flash drive. So if you're saving it on a flash drive, go File, find your flash drive over here, and then choose your location on your flash drive. If you're saving it on your UCA-O drive, then you'll need to go to like this PC, and then go over to your drives over here and save it on your O drive. But again, if you're working on another device other than your UCA drive, I would recommend using a flash drive. And that way you've got it with you at all times. Okay, so go find the location, but always start with this PC and then go find the location where you want to save your file. Okay. All right. Well, that does it for Module 1. I hope this was helpful for you, and just let me know if you've run into any questions, anything like that. And I will see you guys next time. Hope y'all have a great day.